Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. In the last episode, I didn't cover everything that I wanted to cover on power-only loads to the detail I wanted. So for this episode, this will be part 2 of power-only loads, or how can you gross $17,300 in just 3 weeks using just a pickup. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Hello again, and welcome back to my hotshot journey. My name is Ken, and in this episode, as I said at the beginning, introduction, I'm going to continue the power-only thread, and I'm going to discuss in this video 3 things. Number 1, further examples of the trailers that you might encounter with power-only loads. Number 2, the types of connections and the types of hitches that you might need for your power-only load. And 3, some of the big reasons why I personally prefer to haul power-only loads. If you find this information useful, please remember to smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and finally subscribe so you can be notified of future videos. Alright, let's get to it. Now, for number 1, here are some additional examples of power-only loads. In the last episode, I showed you the equipment trailer that I hauled to Kentucky and the movie set trailer that I hauled to California. Those 2 trailers grossed me $63.50 for that week. The week prior, I hauled this real trailer from Las Vegas to Florida for $5,300 gross. And the week before that, I hauled this RV from South Dakota to Washington. Then I picked up this bathroom trailer from Washington and took it to Las Vegas. Those 2 trailers grossed me $56.50 for that week. So when you add it all up, these 5 trailers grossed me $17,300 in just 3 weeks. All without using my own trailer, just using my pickup. I also mentioned in the last episode hauling this oil field trailer that needed repairs very badly. I also mentioned that in last week's episode that I hauled this steam trailer that was brand new and was in great condition, obviously. In the past, I've also hauled an air conditioning trailer that you can see on the screen, and even this very heavy Army Corps of Engineers equipment trailer. The bottom line, with power-only loads, you never really know what you're going to get. For item number 2 on today's agenda, here are some of the common hitches and the connections that you might encounter while hauling power-only loads. Keep in mind one thing, please. You're going to see several different product names on the items that I'm going to show you. These are my items. These are the items I use. There's no endorsement implied here. For full disclosure, none of these companies that you're about to see pay me any money to show their product. These are literally the items that I have on my truck that I use to haul loads with. So, if that's an endorsement, so be it, but there's no money involved. Okay, the first thing I need to talk about is, as you can see right there in the picture, is my RV 5th wheel hitch. And as you can see, I use a Reese 27K. And has just worked great for me. It's built into my Ford puck system right there in the bed of the truck, and it's easy for me to switch out, and has always done good. Underneath the Reese hitch, you can see obviously the mounting that's built into this F350 for the gooseneck adapter. And I just happen to have here, this is one of my 2 goosenecks. This is my 2 5/16 gooseneck ball. As you can see by all of the grease and the rust on it, it gets used quite often. I also have used a 3-inch gooseneck ball to haul that very, very heavy Army trailer that I talked about. This gooseneck ball is rated for 30,000 pounds, which is the load capacity of that as well, and my truck is just a little over 30,000 pounds. And then that 3-inch gooseneck ball has a load capacity of 40,000 pounds. The next item I'm going to talk about For bumper pulls, smaller trailers often will use this 2-inch. And as you can see here, I just have a little starter kit. This is rated for 6,000 pounds. And I even have to have my sleeve, my adapter sleeve, to get it to fit inside my hitch, the frame. This is really what you would use for really small trailers, utility trailers, things like that. For larger bumper pull trailers, I use my 2 5/16 ball. As you can see on this hitch, the shank is actually rated for 15,000 pounds, but the ball itself is only rated for 12,000 pounds. So that becomes the working load limit of this. Again, you would use this for larger bumper pulls, small RV trailers, things like that, or larger utility trailers. The next hitch that I use is this 2-inch pintle. This is actually a 10-ton pintle, so this will pull 20,000 pounds. And my big baby here, my big beast, this is the one I use quite often. This is my 3-inch pintle. This is a 30,000 pound, it's a 15-ton, as you can see, rated right there. This is a 15-ton hitch, 30,000 pounds. I use this one quite often to pull the larger utility trailers. In addition to these hitches that you see here that I carry with me in my truck, I also have, as you can see on the screen, a weight distribution hitch that I keep at home. Frankly, I would love to use it. I've never used it. The main reason why, as you can see in the photo, it has a lot of components between the arms and then the adjustable sleeve for where the ball sits. It's just a lot of items, and I just don't have enough room in my toolbox to carry all of it. But I do have it, and it's at the house if I ever had a special load that needed one. Okay, now that we've talked about hitches for a few minutes, let's talk about connections. On my truck, as you can see, my Ford, I have a 4-pin that's built in. This is for smaller trailers, usually like a landscaping trailer, a small utility trailer, or U-Haul trailers use the 4 pins. I also have the 7-pin blade, the RV, what they call the RV plug, that's built in, which I actually use for most of my loads, most of my trailers, including my personal trailer. And then the one other thing that I use is that for those larger pinto loads that require a semi-trailer, I have a 7-pin blade to 7-pin round adapter that, as I said, will connect to a semi-style trailer. I had one of my customers actually make this for me to haul one of their trailers. The third item I wanted to cover today are some of the reasons why I personally like to haul power-only loads. The first one, and it's quite simple, is the revenue. Power-only loads, in my experience, can be, or they have the potential to be very high revenue. It depends. I've seen some power-only loads that didn't pay anything. Depends on the reason why. As I've already mentioned with the reel trailer that I hauled and the oil field trailers that I haul, those are industrial trailers that need to go to customers or to job sites, and they really need them there, and they are willing to pay a reasonable rate to get them there. My pinto hitch loads average between $3 and $4 a mile. $3 and $4 per mile to haul their trailer only with my pickup. That's the number one reason I like to haul power-only loads, especially pintos, because they pay very well. Very few people, in my opinion, have the ability to haul a large pinto hitch load, a 20,000 pound load. You cannot do it with a non-CDL truck. You cannot do it with well, you can do it with a non-dually pickup, but you'll have a harder time, especially when you get to some of I've hauled some pinto hitch loads that were 25,000 pounds. I wouldn't do that in a well, you can't do it in a non-CDL rig, and I wouldn't do that in a non-dually rig. So again, first item is revenue. Number two, and this is kind of a personal thing for me, I like hauling power-only loads because I'm only worried about one direction. If I can find a backhaul, that's great, especially if I can find one with good revenue. If not, I'm not worried about it. For my break-even points, if I can get a $3 a mile load outbound, then I pay myself internally $2 a mile to haul the load, and then $1 a mile for the deadhead, because again, I'm driving just to pick up. It's easy, very fuel efficient. I'm not putting any wear and tear or stress on my trailer which is right now sitting at home collecting dust in my yard, as you know. And the third reason that I like to haul power only loads is for the convenience. As you've heard me say before, when I dropped off the movie set trailer out in California, I was able to bobtail to Las Vegas, just driving around my big pickup. I can stay at any hotel I like. I can drive through any restaurant, any mall, anywhere I want to go, because I'm not hauling a 40-foot trailer that I'm dragging around with me, deadhead. That gives me a lot of freedom. It gives me the ability then to see people I want to see, visit places I want to go. If I want to go to the beach, I can drive there with my pickup, and I'm not dragging my 40-foot trailer around, which then I have to try to find a place to park and to accommodate it. So those are the three reasons that I personally like hauling power only loads. In conclusion, I hope this information that I presented has been helpful to you and helps you with hauling those power only loads. If it has been useful, again, please click on that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe. Thank you for joining me on my hotshot journey, and I hope to see you in the next episode.